One on either side of the sail planes, and one on either side of the rudder. Those are the starting planes. OMSI put this part in, that makes it real easy to get in and out of the boat. The steers are steep, it is about a 45-degree angle. Going inside, please hang on to the handle. Any outside questions? And any prior military? What branch, what'd you do?
Maybe I was on the USS Nimitz. I was, I think, Superman school.
That's one of them small ships.
Yeah.
You won 6,000, your closest friends.
Yeah.
Any other prior? Current? Future? What branch?
Army.
Army, have you already signed the paperwork?
I ship out Sunday.
Oh,
So it's already too late. So you enjoy camping,
I will.
heats, lousy food. You know where you're going to get stationed at?
I go to Fort Benning. Or,
So Fort Benning. Well, this time of year, south isn't so bad.
yeah.
Better than Navy boot camp. Because Navy boot camp right now is in Chicago. Chicago in January is not the best time, or February is not the best time to be there. I went to boot camp in San Diego, so it wasn't sunny. The Army, you get places, if you're lucky, you'll get maybe Hawaii. Chances are you're going to get middle of nowhere, Arkansas, Kansas, Texas, places like that. Lousy places. Thank you for your service. Two most important things to remember. The Army was created in 1775. You can't change it. Don't try. You'll get people that did not get that one. They don't try. Do what you're told, when you're told to do it, how you're told to do it. It counts in my game. After that, military service is easy. And let's follow me ahead inside. Please hang out. Great Lakes, or were you in Orlando somewhere?
no, I was in Great Lakes.
Great Lakes?
Where did you serve? Yes.
Yeah, I was in the Navy.
Okay.
I was in
Oh, that was when they had. Okay, when they had a boot camp in.
boot camp in San
San
Diego.
Diego.
These days, boot camp in San Diego and Orlando.
I was on the Nimitz when they were in San Diego. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
03 to 07.
Okay. They must have closed. They closed Orlando first, and then San Diego, and then everything went to Chicago.
Oh, okay.
I think they closed San Diego in '95, Orlando in '93.
Oh, okay.
And then I got stationed in really horrible places. San Diego, and then Hawaii. So that was
What
rough
part
to
of
be in the
Hawaii?
Navy. I was at Pearl.
Okay.
So I had it rough. And then they made me go to really horrible places that no one ever really wants to go to. They sent me to the Philippines, Singapore, Hong Kong, Thailand, the Middle East, twice. And I even got stuck in Australia for a while.
Where in Australia?
I was in Cairns, Australia, up on the Great Barrier Reef. So I spent a week up there, lounging around the Barrier Reef.
Terrible.
It's rough to be in the Navy. This is the wardroom. This is where our officers are at. 8 officers on board, 7 slept back there, 2 to 3 per room. And then you get this guy right here, that's the captain. He is the most important one on board. He does get his own room. That room is bigger than the other ones, and he's the only one on board that can actually sit up in bed and not hit his head anywhere. All the meals are made downstairs in the galley. Officers' meals are then brought up here to the pantry and served to the officers. A double hull sub, an inner hull and an outer hull. Outer hulls, which you saw on the dock, is a piece of our inner pressure hull. That's what's keeping the ocean from squishing the boat.
Oh.
We've also got a piece next to the wall there, next to the clock, and hanging up right over here. Now, in between, we've got our ballast tanks. Take a look up here. I'll explain how it works. A series of valves at the top of the boat, a series of flood ports in the bottom. You can open the valves at the top, water comes in the bottom, into the ballast tanks, making us heavier than the water around us, and we submerge or dive. We do not sink. That's what Titanic did. Close the valves, send high pressure air through the tanks. That's going to push that water out, bring us back up. Do it quickly, and we do this maneuver right here. That is an emergency blow, and we can actually go from 700 feet to the surface in 58 seconds. To give you an idea what Blueback looks like compared to the rest of the subs in the fleet, 6 models of submarines. That's Blueback. Below that is a World War II fleet boat. Below that is the workhorse of the Navy, the Los Angeles Fast Attack Sub. On top is the Ohio-class ballistic missile boat. Largest in the Navy, 2.5 Bluebacks will fit inside. On the bottom is the largest submarine in the world, a Russian Typhoon-class ballistic missile boat. 2 of the Ohios side by side will fit into a Typhoon. Little guy, our first commissioned submarine, the USS Holland, that was put into service in 1900.
Wow.
Any questions here?
How long was what did you call the one that was commissioned in 1900?
The Holland, she was
Yeah.
in service for 10 years,
Okay.
1900 to 1910.
Mhm.
54 feet in length, a crew of 7, 3 torpedoes, and a gas-powered engine. And if you've ever started a lawnmower in a garage, you'll understand why the Navy got rid of the gas-powered submarine. Any other questions? All right. We'll head forward to control. Going forward, we're going to pass by 2 rooms. This side over here, the radio room or communication. This side over here is the yeoman shack office for the sub. As you go through the sub, you'll see interesting buttons, knobs, switches, and valves. My naval career was on the surface side. I have no idea what they do. Please don't play with them. One of them could launch one of our torpedoes. Feel free to look to the scopes. Eyepiece here, eyepiece over here. Try out the chairs if you want. Anything for boot camp Monday or Sunday?
So yeah, I'll go to most Sunday.
Okay.
Or up to the hotel most Sunday.
So Wednesday morning about 4 a.m. We'll be in Georgia, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Around 4 a.m. on Wednesday. It's not going to pass your head. What have I done?
Just go over Naples.
Because that's about the time we guidance.
They're both the same. There's a different one, but the Navy took it out and then decommissioned. And then you want it to be in somebody's hands. There's that one in there where they bring them down, but they added those.
I went to the second half.
I don't even know what the optical do like that.
I'm not following it.
There's something with an iPhone they used to put on binoculars. When I was really little, we were on this tour. When I was really little, we were on this tour. So the guy was like, "Who wants
2
to
chairs
go?"
up front are I drove the boat. The inside chair, the helmsman. Outside is the planesman. Helmsman controlled the stern plane, or the dive planes above us, and the rudder and back. Planesman controlled the stern planes, and they would work together as a team to control the angle of the dive. Over there, the green lights is our ballast tank control panel. The green lights meant everything that was supposed to be closed was. It was now safe to submerge the sub. Captain or the officer of the deck, upon seeing the green lights, give the order to dive. The diving officer will come over here, grab a hold of this switch, say dive, dive, and throw the switch twice. I will warn you, this is loud. You don't want to plug your ears. Dive! Dive! 2 minutes later, you're in the water. Scope sees down about 60 feet, then go to sonar. 2 types, active and passive. Active sonar, which sends the sound in the water. Passive, we are just listening to sounds. Any questions? we'll head down this set of stairs, go down the stairs, go down to the handrail. They're steeper than the ones we came in on. Room at the bottom of the right, my favorite sauna. Next stop, torpedo.
So how many would this crew?
She had a crew of 8 8 officers. 7
I mean, we had some like that size, but not very many.
The watertight doors on a sub are different than on the surface side because of the nature of the boat. As you work your way down to the depths of the ocean pushing you in.
Yeah.
And so a regular watertight door like you have on the surface side, which is similar to the doors that we have in the
Yeah.
they actually get a gap. So what these ones do is this handle here, you close the door,
It will
you
feel
spin
with
that and
the
that locks it
rubber.
into place. And it's got that rubber gasket that the new guy put in. I'm not telling him how to put it in. I'll learn somehow. I lucked out. 6 years I was in, I never had to replace a gasket. I was always at the right time, at the right place, having to do something else, and I was like, gasket change.
It's not that bad. You just have to really, really make sure that they're pretty close.
Yeah, because it expands. So if you don't get it
If you
exactly
get it
right,
too far away, then
you get a gap, then you got to start over, and you get you're not gap. I was there, I peeled out a gasket. We were getting ready to cut place, and I got called away for something happened with someone, so I had to go back and take care of that.
maybe people don't worry about it as much. I think it's a shame because, like, what if something actually did happen? But a lot of them you just see like 2-inch gaps, and like,
Oh, my division, there was no gap.
yeah.
Yeah, we had a guy that he placed a gap on ours, and it was going from our berthing section to half, and they had a guy replace it 4 times because he got it.
Well, we have so many. We had so many, and it was just like we would just send people out to do damage control, and they would have a certain list of things that you would just check up on and lubricate and replace the gaskets on, and nobody really checked up on it to make sure that they did it right. And so there would be 2-3-inch gaps in the gaskets, and they just didn't care. They're like, oh yeah, it's only going to keep you alive. Something like that.
Yeah, it is. I think we care a lot because we pay attention to the forest fire movie. And every Navy guy has to see it. Oh, they still show the forest fire movie?
I don't think so.
Damage control, USS Forstall. Forstall was an aircraft carrier that John McCain landed on.
Okay.
And the A6 that he was flying, one of the bombs came off and it slid across the flight deck and started a fire. And so we got the firefighting still, and you get to see that video.
We had to do firefighting, but and I might have seen it. I don't remember it very well. I just remember them having this big, old school aircraft that they have little hoses and everything like that, and little pipes hooked up, and then it's spraying some sort of fuel out, and then they would ignite it, and then you would try and spray it out, and it's never going to go out. You can spray it as well.
There's a guy that flips the switch and shuts it off.
Yeah.
This room in here, this is the business end, our torpedo room. Several different types. Right down here, the Mark 14 was used to sink ships. Little green guys are Mark 37, used to sink submarines. In 1973, the Navy combined the two to create the big guy over here. That's the Mark 48. Wire guided, but with the wire we can put in new information like course and speed changes. We've got 22 all total. 6 will go up front, 3 on top, 3 on the bottom. The remaining 16 will go in the sections around us. Last time a U.S. submarine launched a torpedo on anchor was the 14th of August, 1945. A lot of practice in between. Up above, extra beds. It's actually the second best place to sleep on here next to the captain's stateroom. Nice and cool, nice and quiet, a lot of extra space. Any questions here?
So when they bring torpedoes on, do they have to bring them up through that hatch? And
They
then...
come in through that upper hatch, backhand first at a 45-degree angle. This midsection is actually an elevator. They'll raise the forward section up 45 degrees, slide the torpedo in, strap it into place, lower the front section down, and then they can raise and lower the whole platform. Side to side is manual. They sit on these brackets. Brackets are heavily greased. 3 to 4 guys give a good push or a good pull, not moving back and forth. To get them into the tubes, they got a hydraulic ram in the back called a rabbit. Push the button and moves the rabbit along the rail. That'll push the torpedo into the tubes. Close the back door, fill the tube with water. When it comes time to launch, push a button upstairs, it opens up the outer door. Push another button, it'll pop them out the front side.
Oh, that's right.
These two are contact weapons. They have to make physical contact with the target. That's a proximity weapon. It goes underneath the target, explodes, creates a bubble. That bubble will lift the vessel up out of the water and break its keel. This one can sink a cruiser, a submarine, an aircraft carrier. Any other questions?
This one can sink an aircraft carrier?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah. It lifts the vessel up out of water, creates a void underneath, cracks the hull. That ship comes back down, cracks the vessel. 600 pounds of explosives on each one. Any other questions? We'll head back to crew's quarters. Going back, we're going to walk by 2 rooms. This side over here, the showers, 2 showers for 77 guys. Other side, the bathrooms, what the Navy calls the head, 4 toilets.
Here, you guys go ahead. I want to get a little bit of footage.
And where you guys from?
Idaho Falls.
Idaho Falls. And
Tri-Cities.
Tri-Cities.
He's from
Tired.
Tiger.
So,
Well, this is our crew's quarters. Underneath each and every one of these beds is called a coffin locker. It's 24 inches wide, 6 feet 2 inches long, and 4 inches deep. That's where you stored everything. We have a coffin locker over there. 77 enlisted. Our problem, we've only got 66 beds. Those have been Navy for a long period of time. Senior enlisted, all the way up forward where the blue curtains are at, they got their own bed. Junior enlisted, lucky enough to be in the torpedo room, would also get their own bed. Otherwise, you can be back here over on the other side, and you will be sharing a bed. 3 guys sharing 2 beds. The way that works, the guy that sleeps in the top bed comes off sleep and goes to relieve the guy on watch. Guy comes down, crawls in the bed, bed's still warm from the guy that just left. That's hot bunking or hot racking. Showers are once a week, 2 minutes long, and before you can take that wonderful 2-minute long shower, you have to clean out the space. Any place to store food on here does, showers included. The bag right here, your laundry facility. When you return to port, 6 to 8 weeks later, you took that bag full of dirty laundry out, had that cleaned. 75% of the crew smoked, and it is a diesel electric submarine with 3 diesel engines. Combine the smells, throw in the smells from our tanks and bilges, we call these things pig boats. Any questions here?
So they just like they worked it with their smoke area, or they just
Bow to stern.
Holy cow!
Wasn't
Or if you have
24/7. There was smoke. There was certain times you could and could not, but when you could, it was everywhere. Any other questions? All right, we'll head back to cruise mess. Going back, we'll pass by an area. You can look down and see our batteries. 504 cells, 600,000 pounds all total, putting out about 1,000 volts of electricity. So battery storage. Mirror in front, give you an idea of the space. Guy in the back, he's our chief electrician's mate. Making sure those batteries are working.
This is the whole.
mess. Or
That's the
kitchen.
scullery.
It's the whole scullery.
Yep.
Holy crap!
Oh, got 85 people.
I know, but still.
There.
Okay. What?
And what are you going to be doing in the Army?
Infantry.
Infantry. This is our cruise mess. Anytime you have a large gathering of people, it's going to happen here. Meetings, classes, religious services, entertainment, and of course eating. Through the window, our scullery, that's where all your dishes are washed. Brand new to the Navy, brand new to the sub and enlisted, that's where you get to spend 90 days washing dishes by hand. The meals that rotate 20 guys at a time through 4 meals: breakfast, lunch, dinner, and what we call midnight rations or mid-rats. The galleys here, that's where all the meals are made, and the sub fleet does eat the best food in the military, ranging from hot dogs and hamburgers to steak and lobster. Unfortunately, you're not going to get that. This will be your friend. This is an MRE, or a meal ready to eat. You open this up, you add water, stir it up, and it's supposed to taste good.
Supposed to.
When you're sitting in the field, remember that. Also remember that the submarine guys are sitting off the coast, having for breakfast fruit juice, fruit, milk, bread, butter, and jam, assorted breakfast pastries, fresh eggs made to order, home fried potatoes, pancakes, bacon, and syrup. Lunch will be roast beef, mashed potatoes, gravy, green beans, and cake and ice cream. And for dinner, turkey, mashed potatoes, gravy, cranberry sauce, peas, and banana splits. But don't think about it too much. We also have air-conditioned spaces and showers every day.
I thought they only got to shower once a week.
We're not
I
married.
Today's every day. When I got back from Desert Storm, my family belonged to a support group and had people that were stationed over at Desert Storm. And we had to go around the room saying what our hardships were. And I was the only Navy guy in the bunch. The rest of them were either Marines or Army guys. I think there were about maybe 6 or 7 Air Force guys. And so they get to me and they said, well, what was your hardships? I'm like, well, the supply ship was late. Late by about 8 hours. So we had to have, we only had one line for meals. And that was burgers, macaroni and cheese, and rice. So we didn't have the speed line, so we couldn't have hot dogs and hamburgers or the regular course meal. And we had fresh milk, but they limited how many glasses you could have. You could only have 2 glasses a meal. And they put us on water hours, so we could only take a shower once a week or once a day instead of the 3 that we're normally taking. And at that time, the Army and the Marine guys were shaving out of their helmets with ice-cold water and not bathing with the sand and muck that was flying around Iraq.
When I was in the Persian Gulf, I remember them having nothing but hot dogs and like brown lettuce and white bread, and they didn't have any hot dog buns or anything, just nasty, just run-of-the-mill, like been at the back of the freezer. And I think we had that for about at least 2 weeks. And when we were in the Persian Gulf, so...
Yeah, every vessel has their own little perks and quirks. And the further away you are from the supply ship, the worse it gets. I was on a cruiser, so our import time was, or our rotation was usually a week in, a week out, week and a half in, a week out, until war broke out, and then it was 57 days out. Carriers, they're nuclear powered. They don't have to come in.
Yeah.
So the supply ship just comes to them. So they get, and they've
If
got
they
9,000
do.
people on them, or 6,000 people on them. So they've got 4 galleys, and they've got huge food problem. Not enough people, or too many people, not enough food.
I never had to work on the mess deck, though. I worked for the officers. I cleaned up their rooms for them.
I worked on the mess decks 4 times, so there are advantages and disadvantages about being on a smaller ship.
Yeah.
We do have a slight problem on this boat. We got 85 guys on it. We're out to sea for 2 months, and we have 4 meals a day. That comes out to about 14 tons of food, and we have to have someplace to store 14 tons of food. 2 75 cubic foot freezers for the frozen goods. Things that can withstand high temperatures goes in the back. Things that require a cooler temperature like fruits and vegetables can go up front. Everything else comes in cans. Cans go on the floor. We line the floors from engine to torpedo, everywhere in between, put a rubber mat on the top, and change the height of the room. It only becomes a problem if you're above 5'5". You learn early to duck. Out to sea for 2 months, you're going to double stack those cannons. You happen to be 5'11" out to sea for 2 months, and your naval career, pretty much.
That's sad.
Literally eat your way down to like that. We got fresh milk for about a week, if even brought on board at all. After that, it'll be evaporated or powdered milk. We also have coffee, water, and the naval favorite of bug juice. Bug juice being the Navy version of Kool-Aid. Take Kool-Aid, mix with 5 gallons of water, throw in some sugar, that's bug juice. The same Kool-Aid mixed with a gallon of water, leave out the sugar, is a cleaning solution. And we have soft serve ice cream. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, any flavor you want. As long as you want vanilla. Any questions here? We'll head back to our cruise mess. Or excuse me, we'll head back to maneuvering. As we go back, we're going to walk by one of the engines. We have 3 on board. Same engine used in locomotives.
See, this was the main house, guys. Or the radio one.
So in between the bulkhead, there was a door with a radioactive symbol on
It's a
it.
small experimental reactor. No, I'm kidding. When the sub first came to Portland, we used to do a haunted Halloween tour.
Yeah.
And one of the years that we did the tour, this was a nuclear-powered submarine. That's where the reactor was. The reactor had exploded and turned everybody into radioactive zombies. So this whole back section was dark, except for that room. And that room had a mannequin, a strobe light, and a green tinted window.
So they didn't have a nuclear reactor officer?
Nope.
Because, oh.
What was
There's no
diesel?
reactor.
Yeah.
This is a diesel electric sub.
Okay. But we do have nuclear reactor ships, subs now, don't we?
All of the U.S. subs are nuclear powered. Today's fleet, subs and the carriers are the nuclear powered subs or vessels. At one point in time, we also had nuclear powered cruisers, but they eliminated that program.
Okay. Because on the aircraft carrier, I know that it's like everybody believes that it's the captain and the XO that's in charge. The reactor officer is probably better, a little higher than either of them in an emergency.
The captain, the XO, and the command master.
Well, yeah, that's what people say.
Well, that's the way it is.
Well, if you get into an emergency, the reactor officer, especially a reactor problem, he'll run the ship. They don't really have.
Captain still takes all the responsibility.
yeah, all the
for that, right? And they're not going to. If you got a reactor problem, they're not going to fire the reactor officer. They'll fire the captain.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
you don't want a reactor problem.
No. Not even a fake one.
No.
Yeah, go ahead, right in, Taylor.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, compared to
This is like
What we're in now is maneuvering. Just left to answer the that's down here. Is nice thing about this room is this insulated door here, the 2 insulated doors on either side. Close those, temperature here is going to be about 70 degrees and relatively quiet. Engines are started from here. Once those diesels are started, the source panels on the left run the generators. Once those generators charge the batteries, then we go to the other side and run the electric motor. The electric motor runs everything front to back, including our propeller. The propeller for this boat is that one next to the museum, which also serves as a memorial to those who died in subservice. Any questions on that?
This is like what the entire Nimitz is covered in.
Yeah.
This-
Yeah. Ours was a mixture of a bunch of things squeezed together really tight that night. Alright, folks, follow me. We'll head back up.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter when they were on that ship.
Probably before me. I haven't met anybody that was on after.
Alright, well thank you folks for coming down to Blueback and enjoy the rest of your day. And good luck. Thank you.
Take your time.
So, quick question: is there an aft torpedo room, or is there?
Forward only. Because of
Really?
the size and location of the prop. Excuse me, that prop that's up there is the propeller off this boat, and it's set dead center in the back.
Oh, so there's no way you're gonna.
Right. World War II era boats, they actually had two smaller props, and they were underneath them.
Thanks.
So they had the aft torpedoes. With the Mark 48 torpedo, you can launch a torpedo out the front, take out a target in the back, without moving.
Oh yeah, there's no real point to.
Right.
Okay, one other question: when was this decommissioned?
1990, after 31 years of service.
Okay.
She was commissioned in 1959 and served the Navy for 31 years.
Isn't that around the same time as the Midway? I mean, I know the Midway is a carrier, but I remember they turned it into a museum, but it took them like 10, 15 years to get it there.
Yeah, she's a museum down in San Diego.
Yeah.
Yeah, late mid 50s ish. For the Midway is a World War II era carrier.
Oh, is it? Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
I thought, isn't
Towards
there
the
more
end of the
than
war,
one
but-
carrier with Midway though?
What's
Isn't
that?
there more than one ship with the Midway name?
Well, the Midway, that's the aircraft carrier, is named after the Battle of Midway.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was coming into service 45-ish, so right at the tail end of the war.
Oh,
If
okay.
it was a lot. And it used to be a single flight now.
Oh,
And then they made changes to it so that she had two landing strips going off the boat to one or two. Then they had the hanging back there.
well, you definitely know your naval history better than me. I think it's cool, but I'm just like, I don't know, maybe I'm not over the whole, alright, yeah, it was there, I know.
I did